Okay, so I have Mr. Dan Tompkins with me.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm really good. Just arrived, feeling fresh. Yeah, very excited to be playing headlining the Dogtooth stage tonight, which is it's a big deal for us as a band, you know.
So, Sonder's been out for a minute now. What have people's reactions been like to it?
We've actually just got back off our US tour, and I have to say that the reaction was incredible. If I'm going to compare it to the last album, which was Polaris, that was my kind of like reintroduction to the band, if you like. I very vividly remember the first few shows of the last tour we did in the States. People didn't really get the songs, they weren't responding too much, but this time around people are singing all the words and bearing in mind we started the tour on the 17th and the album came out on the 20th of April. So we were already touring before the album came out, and people were singing the songs, and it's unbelievable.
So, in terms of what the actual meaning of Sonder is, I know that it comes from John Koenig. Is that right?
Yeah,
is that correct? How does it kind of what did you interpret it as?
Pretty much as it is, really. I remember the first time I ever went on tour professionally with a band was in 2006, and I toured Japan. So my first ever touring experience was in Japan. Amazing. And I remember being at the really famous crossroads in Shibuya, walking across and just seeing all of these different foreign people that I'm the foreigner, I'm from a faraway land. Thinking to myself, I wonder where he's going. I wonder what kind of day she's had. Just seeing all these random people going about the business, because nobody sleeps in Japan. Everyone's awake. The city's always buzzing. And that was the first time I felt that sensation of Sonder, but couldn't really describe it. And that's what I love about what John's doing. He's creating descriptions for ineffable emotions, and ineffable means when you can't explain something. So those kind of emotions we all have that you can't get out in words. He's very beautifully trying to do that with awesome descriptive text and videos to accompany each new word that he brings out. It's a fascinating thing. He's very much at the forefront of linguistic progression, and I think that kind of goes, to a degree, goes hand in hand with the way that Tesseract like to write music, because we're a forward-thinking band and we try and do something new all the time. So yeah, Sonder is the realization that people around you are living very complex and vivid lives, equally as complex as your own. So I find that really fascinating, because it makes you think, maybe we're more insignificant than what we think we are.
Just about to say. Yeah.
But on the other hand, it can make you feel actually quite unique and special in a way, because if you look at all the very tiny aspects of life, from microbial life forms to fauna and flora, the world, solar systems, galaxies, universe, and the further you go back, the more important and special you actually become to even have an existence and a consciousness. So it's a bit mind-blowing, but two ways: either feel really crap about yourself or really good.
So what about in terms of your actual performance on Sonder? Was there anything that you wanted to kind of bring to the table? I know there's a lot of harsher vocals on the album.
I had some kind of secret discussions with Akko behind the scenes before we started writing, just saying, let's go a bit heavier, come on, let's, so and I thought it'd be really cool to take one element of each existing album and create a hybrid Tesseract sound. So yeah, it's exciting, because I think now we've actually found a really good way of working together. We know what we want to achieve, and we've now got a very good platform to do something even more exciting on the next album. So we'll see what happens. But I'm really keen to start writing new material already.
I totally agree. I thought that it had the kind of aggressiveness of One, the sort of fluidity of Altered State, and then the kind of accessibility of Polaris.
Absolutely, yeah.
Wow.
That's exactly how I described it.
No. So what about for you? What does Tesseract mean for you? Being in this band and the legacy that you're leaving behind.
Oh man, it's for one, it's an awesome platform to express ourselves. Two, because I've got kids, it's a legacy in that respect. But it's incredible to see how people respond to the music, and each album has got its own fan base, by the way, which is actually amazing. When you go to a show, you can see the different pockets of people that are there to see certain songs from different albums. So we've got the moshers that go crazy, we've got couples in the front row crying their eyes out, stuff like Altered State. You've got the more mature, older people maybe audio nerds want to be near the sound desk and get the best possible experience they can from an audio perspective. So yeah, it's incredible. But for me, Tesseract is just it's a journey, man. It's a way of expressing ourselves. It's a way of traveling the world and meeting new people, seeing different cultures and backgrounds, and it's just a whole life lesson. It really is. I mean, we've all made massive sacrifices to do this, and I'm sure you'll hear it today with lots of different artists. You know, people have always made hard decisions because they want to follow and pursue a dream, and that's exactly what it is. It's a dream job. It really is, and I would like to be doing this when I'm 70, 75, 80, before I die. Unfortunately, my family has a history of dying quite young, so not to be morbid, but I want to try and transcend that kind of age limit of like death. So
transcend death.
Yeah.
Via Tesseract.
There was absolutely brilliant Chuck Norris meme going around, which was that Chuck Norris actually died 20 years ago, but death hasn't put the courage up to tell him right now.
So that's you.
That's me, basically.
In the prog world.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time, mate. Thank you.
Nice one.